Hello everyone and welcome back to the 79th episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello.
This week we have, because of all the bad crap going down in the world that I'm not wanting to get into, nor do I ever, because we avoid politics and drama as much as we can here, I've
Yep.
kind of got a week of interesting news, some happier news, and fingers crossed, something to brighten people's days up a bit. That's what I'm going for this week. So, we'll be starting off this week with some news about Fallout London's team. I'm not going to go further into that because it's really good news and I'm quite happy about it. After that, we'll be moving into the next game from the Dishonored Co-creator, Raphael Colanternia, Colanternia, and what their next game's going to be, how it's basically what sort of style it's going to be, and they've announced some more news on that. After that, Geralt's voice actor from the Witcher series confirms he will be part of The Witcher 4, with the tagline, "I could be lying through my teeth, but I'm not, or am I?" Love that guy; he's great. After that, we'll be discussing Gearbox CEO teasing Borderlands 4, which is kind of required after the horrific reception of the new Borderlands film. And we will be discussing the Borderlands film, as apparently it was originally filmed as an R-rated movie, but then got moved to be PG-13, which is so dumb. After that, we'll be discussing the fact that Warner Brothers may start licensing its biggest gaming franchises to other companies, which I think, to be honest, would be a great idea for some of these franchises because they do deserve their right to keep growing instead of sitting there and just gathering dust like Warner Brothers allows them to do. After that, Grand Theft Auto 6 release window gets an encouraging update.
Forgot about GTA 6.
A lot of us did, don't worry. And the final bit of news we'll be discussing today, which I'll be honest, I am really excited about. Nextorage launches blisteringly fast SSD for handheld gaming devices. PCIe 4.0 M.2 2230 drive delivers 7,400 megabytes per second write speeds and read speeds, which would be the fastest we have so far. I have to add the so far bit because let's be honest, in the next 2 months, someone will go, "Yeah, I've made it quicker. Don't worry about it." But, anyways, shall we get into this week's news?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. So, Will, you can see all this correct?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Let's start with the good news I've got about the Fallout London team. So, Fallout
Well,
London.
what we can see of it because of this forced ad.
Yeah, I know, right? It's great. Actually, let me do my usual. Give me a second, guys. Oh, wait, what?
Not that.
What the fuck? There it is. You.
It's gonna pop back up in 30 seconds.
Fuck you.
At
I
least we
win.
can see now.
Yeah. So the Fallout
30 seconds.
London's team, who did an amazing job, absolutely phenomenal, personally, with Fallout London, have actually come together even after it was a volunteer team, modding team, and they're launching a new indie studio, which that's some of like the best news I've heard. They've decided to, apparently, Team FOLON, or Team Fallout London, the volunteer squad of developers who have released the ambitious Fallout 4 mod, Fallout London, is set to launch itself as a new indie studio. Talking to the BBC via PCGM, FOLON's project lead, Dean Carter, admitted that as much as I love the fact that this is a free project, that we can offer this thing for free for all the community, free doesn't pay our bills. What's been great for us is that a lot of people who have really enjoyed Fallout London have donated to us, and we're channeling that into Team FOLON, which is what we're going to be moving into. Kat said. We should hopefully launch our own indie games company, which will allow us to come up with our own ideas, creating our own games and work without having to speak to anyone above us, such as Bethesda or anything like that. It'll be completely our own thing, and we can create a game that we want, that we think the community will enjoy. Fallout London has already been a great springboard for that. What I need to actually state about Fallout London as well, a lot of mainstream creators who absolutely adore the Fallout games have put Fallout London as pretty much their second favorite game below Fallout New Vegas. That's how well it's doing. They say for a lot of them it improves upon and quite literally annihilates Fallout 4. Which, I mean, that's some amazing news, I must admit.
And what's even better is they're taken from that on and do even more great things, hopefully,
Oh yeah,
with
I
this new
am.
company that they're starting.
Honestly, I'm so excited to see what more they can do.
I
Because
mean, look at
it's
the time
insane.
and effort put into Fallout London.
Mm.
That's an impressive start.
Oh, exactly. And I think they said they were working on that for 4 years straight. Which 4 years for a full mod that's effectively a new game. It's insanity. And they worked with the limitations of Bethesda's engine.
That would be the
Next
only
time,
concern is if they were to make their own game, it's like how are they going to go about it? Because it's more than likely not going to be the same engine.
well, they have two choices. One, they can create their own engine from scratch, which, to be honest, knowing what this team has done so far with Fallout London and how they've done so well with it, they probably would. The other option is to rent an engine or pay for an engine license. That way,
Hmm.
they could use a engine that's out there, for public use and purchase, and then they could build on that, which is what a lot of people do. So
It's
what's
going to be interesting to see where they're going to go for it.
Oh, definitely. I am excited to follow their journey, I must admit. So what's next for Fallout London? Fallout London will continue until they have all the content which they had to cut for the release. So there's more coming. That's interesting. They have another ending, which they call the wildcard ending, that will come out in one of the future patches. That's not going to happen soon. We can see ourselves working until the end of the year. We don't have any ulterior motives. We wanted to do something that was fun during lockdown. We've made something that's fun, and people have found it fun. So for us, we've achieved that goal. So we're very happy about it and the reception. When asked if Bethesda had reached out to Team FOLON following all the positive coverage for Fallout London, Carter simply said, "No, no, we haven't." There hasn't been any communication, which is strange because we've now had communication with other people in the industry, and what I guess would be seen as their competitors. They've reached out to us and we've spoken to them, but Bethesda themselves have not spoken to us at all. No. The people I would imagine as Bethesda's competitor would be Obsidian Entertainment. So, and they both work for Microsoft. They're both owned by Microsoft, so it's a bit of a weird one, that.
Doesn't really matter anymore now that they're all coming under one name.
Yeah, exactly. But now, I did find it, I was speaking to someone about this the other day, I find it a bit annoying that Bethesda haven't reached out and made any acknowledgement, because the only time they seem to acknowledge mods is if they're going to earn money from them. Which is silly as hell. He did,
Yeah.
however, add that this was a fan-made mod created entirely on Bethesda's own IP. Team FOLON in no way believes it is entitled to an audience with Bethesda. No one believes that they're entitled to one, but you'd at least expect Bethesda to acknowledge the hard work put in by them. That's what people are a bit annoyed about. A hotfix for Fallout London to address crashing issues is still on the way, with developer Team FOLON planning a huge patch soon after. The game-sized fan-made mod for Fallout 4, set in the English capital, released at the end of July, but players have experienced a high number of crashes and issues, including Eurogamer's Ian Higton, when he streamed his playthrough. Team FOLON has since promised a fix was on the way, and a new statement on its Discord has reiterated its plans for the future. Also, that's great news.
Is it still on the downgraded version of Fallout, though?
Yeah, it's going to be on the downgraded version of Fallout for a long time to come.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone. I mean, I don't know if you know about this yourself, but a lot of mods that are out there require you now to downgrade Fallout 4. A lot of the mainstream mods.
Yeah, they really did a number on the game, didn't they?
They did. I mean, I'd heard about this just after the update came out, but you know some of the major mods that like Sky UI sort of style, so Fallout UI, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They actually was starting to cause massive stutter issues in Fallout 4 because of that update.
Lovely.
So the developers thought, oh yeah, we've sorted it, it's all working fine. No, it wasn't. There was an entire stutter fix that had to be pushed, and in the end, everyone just went to downgrading it because you didn't get enough out of the new update to justify it breaking everything.
Yeah. It's kind of just made the game unplayable in a sense because let's be honest, Bethesda games, as good as they are, even with all their bugs and glitches, we still would love to play them, even though they persist.
Oh yeah.
But these days, you're kind of slightly bored of them, and it's mods that are keeping the games alive.
Exactly.
So the fact that they've broken the mods from the updates that they've done, it's kind of like the update's completely pointless.
I mean, just to quickly show, because this will be interesting for a lot of people, I'm sure. This is the Fallout London downgrader and add-ons. So basically, you get a little text document telling you exactly how to go through it. It gives you step by step what you need to install, how to do it, all that shit. You literally run that, then point it towards your Steam where your Fallout 4 is installed. Then I recommend you go into. You don't need to bother about 2, 3, 4. Those aren't really an issue. You want to go into your recommended mods. I recommend installing like EMB buff out because that fixes a lot of issues and also gives you crash logs. Some bits like that. This will recommend best what you'll want and what you won't. Then just install that on top of your EMB. Once you've done that, you're pretty much sorted. Ultra wide fixes there as well. It's so bloody easy. Honestly, this entire process, I walked a friend of mine through it. Took us about 10 minutes in total to get all of that done. The Fallen downgrader takes a bit, but the mods bit took about 10 minutes. So it's really easy to do. You download that off of Nexus, then that'll sort out, and then you use that to sort the rest out. And it's only the EMB that you don't install via Vortex as well. So, and that's easy to do. Then you just install the game on GOG and problem solved. Install the mod on GOG, sorry. I forgot to say that bit. But yeah, Fallout London, easy to install, useful, pretty cool. Highly recommend it. Amazing. And I must say as well, you know how Fallout 4 really isn't that much of a challenging game? It kind of like lost a lot of its challenge.
Yeah.
Fallout London brought that back. As I said, you literally start the game with 2 major injuries that make it a fucking challenge. And that is interesting. But yeah, it's brought back the challenge. The story is enjoyable to play through. The world is interesting. I was watching a friend of mine play it. He came up against. He was talking to a ghoul character who was blind, and basically the ghoul has been a bit of a dick, as most English people are. We will admit it. And the ghoul was been a dick to him, and he replied to him. He went, "Oh, boo-hoo, mummy! The blind ghoul's bullying me. He's got a face that looks like this and a dick the size of a cricket bat. Boo-hoo!" Like, oh, okay. Yep, pretty typical British humour. Okay, can get behind this. But there's a lot of characters like that. The dialogue is very much sarcastic and insulting, and they've got some really amusing little things.
Just standard stuff for us then.
Oh yeah, exactly. It feels like we're at home, Will. It feels like we're at home. Anyways, the next game from Dishonored co-creator Raphael Calantonia is a first-person immersive simulator with a structure between Prey and Fallout New Vegas, and they state they favor density over size. So apparently, he wants us to imagine a spectrum. On the left, you have Dishonored, the series he co-created with fellow immersive sim veteran Harvey Smith. It's relatively linear type mission based. Once you've finished with a level, there's no going back. On the right, there's Fallout New Vegas, a rambling open world. Okay. 2017's Prey is in the dead center, open but dense, with some areas gated off until you have the equipment or creativity to get in. Colantonio says the new immersive sim from his team at Wolfeye Studios sits between Prey and Fallout New Vegas on that spectrum. They favor density over size. That's all you need to say to rocket it to the top of my wish list. Interesting. Build as a first-person action RPG. Okay. CEO Julian Ruby made this game sound like a return to their roots at Arcane. They're even closer to that Fallout thing. I'm not trusting this article so far. But still, with the values of previous games they've worked on, like Prey and Dishonored, its mobility and that kind of physicality, the level design, the world building, and of those games, but served in a structure that's more open than ever. Okay. So with those games, what I found was, how can I explain this? They had a lot of layered environments. So instead of just being like the street or a bridge, it was like, yeah, there's the street, then there's the balconies, then there's the rooftops. Do you get what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they kind of had a lot of their mobility put in. They gave you a lot more ways to go about things, which if they do
just
that,
casually walking down the street.
Yeah, exactly. If they made a game like that, especially considering how Dishonored was, I mean, it'd be interesting, an open world game where you can stealth murder anyone you want. Yeah, sure. Just sounds like Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed went terrible. Don't laugh, you know it's true.
Well, we know Rory's opinion on the new Assassin's Creed.
I thought I'd already covered that. Those are all my keywords. I reckon the same goes for a lot of other immersive sims. Sickos out there. Why? What is this article, man?
I feel like it's not a normal recording if we don't get at least one of these every time.
Yeah, I know, right? The thing is, I actually made sure to read through a lot of these. I read the titles and then some of the bottom. I was like, yeah, this seems fine. No, okay. Lucky thing too, because Colantina and Robbie are keeping their cards very close to their chest when it comes to revealing anything else about the game. All he would tell them was that they have all the RPG stuff you'd expect, stats, dialogue choices, XP-based level ups, in a what-if story set in the early 1900s in America, where a big tech event of some sort, like some sort of crazy technology from the future, came and set the world on an alternative course about 30 years before the game takes place. That scans with one of the game's earliest teasers, an image of a whiteboard at Wolfie's office with the words first person and retro sci fi written on it. The scant few screenshots Wolfie has released as teasers make the game look like someone smashed Bioshock and Firewatch together. That's a comparison I don't think I've ever heard, but fair enough. Depending on your perspective, it's either a departure from the or return for Columtonia and Robbie. Wolfie's first game was the experimental Weird West. I actually loved the Weird West. I thought it was great. A third-person isometric immersive sim with an anthological narrative, and which some PCG writers, myself included, will tell you is severely underrated. Even long-term fans of these kinds of games were a bit skeptical of it. Like, how could a third-person game be actually, immersive? So Wolfie's as of yet unnamed game isn't that, but I am so
Yeah, I'm a
lost.
bit lost as well.
This person can't write.
If there, it's not. It doesn't really help though. The fact that they're like trying to like reveal as little as possible what they're doing, it sort of makes it that there's nothing to write about
Yeah. Which, I mean,
other
these are the
than
screenshots.
it looks like some wild western stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Out mining oil in the desert, and then you've got whatever the fuck that is.
I mean, it is America, mate. Out mining oil in the desert does sound about right. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this. I'm gonna avoid
There's
this
just not
writer.
enough. There's just
Yeah,
not enough to go off of.
I'm gonna avoid this writer like the bloody plague in the future. Because holy crap. But let me just we'll try this way instead. Yeah, I remember this game now. I actually did play it. It was
Weird
pretty
West,
cool.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I own it. It's pretty good. It's actually quite enjoyable, I must admit. Oh, okay. That was useful. They have literally nothing about it. Okay. Let's talk about Geralt, shall we?
Yes.
While we may have already known that Geralt would not be the focus of CD Projekt Red's next The Witcher game, voice actor Doug Cockle has confirmed he'll at least be reprising the role in The Witcher 4. In an interview in which Cockle tries to remember his most iconic lines, the voice of Geralt of Rivia, confirmed that Geralt will be part of the next game, but the storyline will not be about him this time.
So sad.
It is, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of did everything they could with him in the first three games. So it will be interesting, though, to see where they go from there. Witcher 4 has been announced, he teased thanks PC Gamer halfway through his famous lines test. I can't say anything about it. What we know is that Geralt will be part of the game, we just don't know how much, and the game won't focus on Geralt, so it's not about him this time. We don't know who it's about. I'm excited to find out. I want to know, he added. I have not seen any script yet. I mean, I couldn't tell you if I did. This is the thing. So I could be lying through my teeth, but I'm not. Or am I? He's a dick and I love it. I really do respect him for it.
At the same time, he can't exactly put himself in a position to be sued.
No, exactly.
Don't think anybody wants to do
I
that.
may have. I've not. I swear. I'm not sure. After a few set photo leaks earlier in the month, we now have an official first look at Liam Hemsworth of Geralt of Rivia in the Netflix series. An image along with a short piece of footage shows the former Hunger Games actor. Yeah, we know about all that. No one's really interested. Leaves alone.
I'll be honest, I haven't played any of the Witcher games. I've seen minuscule amounts of The Witcher 3, like clips,
Yeah,
but I absolutely love the Witcher series. on Netflix.
Yeah.
I just recently rewatched it all. Now I didn't pay full attention to it because I'd already watched it a couple times before, so I know pretty much the majority of it. It was something just to have
I get that.
on my tablet while I was playing like some single player games.
Yeah.
And I am very much desperate for season 4 to come out.
Never mind. Someone does care about that then.
Yes. Bro, the actor as well is just such a good
What, you're on
character.
about Liam Hemsworth?
As Geralt the Rivia, yes, he is brilliant.
You know that's not who's playing.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know
Liam
it's a different voice
Hemsworth.
actor, and Liam Hemsworth playing Geralt in the show sounds way better than the clips I've heard from the guy in the game.
What, 1 second. What I'm trying to say is the actual actor of the first 3 seasons as Geralt of Rivia was not Liam Hemsworth. Liam
Wasn't
Hemsworth
it?
is taking over
Oh,
in
you're
season
joking me.
4. No, did you not know this?
No,
Henry Cavill was season 1
okay.
through season 3.
You know I'm not good with names.
I know.
That guy then is
Oh,
absolute phenomenal actor.
oh mate, I fucking
I
love the guy.
I hate when they change actors in series.
Yeah, same. Just do.
Um,
I'll show
i-
you something cool as well.
in the show, the Amazon show, The Boys, the way they just released season 4,
Yeah.
it's still like this the character in that it's still the same character, but he looks completely different. And I at first thought they had changed the actor for him, and I was about to lose my mind over that. But it's
They're
actually just
just.
the same actor. He's just like full clean shave and whatchamacallit, like not as buff looking.
Oh yeah, that's Henry Cavill. Turns out he's a PC gamer. He randomly posted to his Instagram building his gaming PC.
Right then.
We have no idea why, but it was interesting to watch. And he goes through like building his PC step by step, and it's interesting just to watch him go through it all. Yeah, proper goes through it. It's great. But he's a PC gamer, loves Warhammer and stuff like that, plays all sorts, and loves like apparently during this time in The Witcher, he was such a big fan of the Witcher series, both the books and the games, that he was actually telling them how they should shoot certain scenes because he knew so much about it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm so concerned about season 4.
Yeah, that's pretty sad that he's not doing Geralt anymore. Which doesn't really make sense. There must have been something.
He was offered a role for something else, and it was something he really wanted to do. I believe it was playing Superman again, I'm not sure. And then it turns out he didn't get it after all. Something happened. And yeah, it kind of fucked everything up. He is in a new film, though, which is this one here, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, a Guy Ritchie film. So I'm intrigued to watch that myself, actually. Anyways, well, let's move on, shall we?
I want to cry now.
Gearbox, I know. I'm sorry, Will. This is supposed to be a good day, not a day of tears and upset.
I obviously haven't looked into like the next season at all. The only thing I've done is like Googled when the next, or like when its release date is somewhat planned, and that's it. So I didn't actually know that was happening.
Yeah, it were announced a fair bit back, to be honest. If I knew that you didn't know and you were interested in that, I'd have told you earlier, so I do apologise.
So sad.
Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford teased Borderlands 4 while reflecting on the terrible reception of the newly premiered Borderlands movie. Yeah.
It's gotta be a heavy hit to the chest, man.
Just to give some understanding, the day it released, it had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's at 7% now.
What?
IGN rated it a 3.
Oh my god.
A lot of people are calling it unwatchable. It was originally supposed to be, as we're going to cover in the next article, it was supposed to be and filmed as an R-rated film for adults, because that's what Borderlands is. It's
Yeah.
swearing, it's vulgarity, it's just insanity. Blood, guts, gore everywhere.
Yeah, but then you
Dark
realize
jokes.
Kevin Hart's in it, and that's not the kind of thing he does.
But this is the thing. That's what it was. That's what Borderlands is. And then they made it PG-13. And according to what that says, if it was filmed as an R-rated film and they cut it to just be kid-friendly, oh dear God, if they fucked up.
Who knows? Maybe after a while they're like piecing it back together to what it originally was, and it will
Now
re-release.
that would be interesting. Pitchford said he's super flattered that the series fans apparently like the games more than the movie made by some of the biggest and best filmmakers and actors on the planet. Gearbox Software Chief Executive Officer CEO Randy Pitchford said that his studio is hard at work on Borderlands 4. This little teaser was part of the industry's veterans' reflection on the recently debuted Borderlands movie and lackluster reception. May I also add quickly that this, I think, is the wake-up call movie creators needed, because I don't know if you've noticed this, Will. There's been a lot of films made recently about games, and they've all done pretty well recently. They've been pretty good. Now, before, I think was it Sonic that first came out?
Yeah, Sonic was pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But before that first came out, it was actually like films about games were like feared. People did not do them well at all.
Yeah, but
And
then they had flipping Jim Carrey play what's
Eggman.
his name? Eggman in Sonic, and
I mean,
just did an absolute
perfect.
phenomenal job at it.
Jim Carrey in any film, just
Oh,
perfection.
such a good actor, man.
Oh yeah, I watched the Truman Show last night. It was great.
Yeah, you know I had never watched that before until I watched it, I think maybe around a year ago.
I'd never watched it until last night.
Oh, there you go. It was
But,
I don't know. I feel like you just never hear of it.
yeah, exactly. But this is the thing. Before Sonic, I think it was, they were still known to be basically a big risk to do, and then they blew up because they were doing quite well. They did well for a while.
I mean, do you want the greatest game film idea ever?
Go on.
Skyrim character jumping up mountains for 3 hours to get the Hard Rothgar done. There you go. That's the entire film.
Perfect. Problem solved.
Or shows up in the last 5 minutes to save him and just walks up.
Yep. But that's the thing. I'm hoping that this is kind of a wake-up call that they can't just go and choose any game and expect it to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, especially like, oh, this is a big title, let's just do that.
That's what's been worrying me for a bit. Like, the other films that have come out, like the Mario film, the Sonic films, all that sort of stuff.
The Mario film was just kind of weird, man.
I actually quite enjoyed it. I've got to admit.
Oh, no, it was still... Sure, we watched it, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. It was good fun.
It was good, but what the fuck?
You and me questioned a lot of things when you were here. But I think they chose a good game, but they needed to understand no one who plays Borderlands plays it for the story. They play it for the blood, the guts, the gore, the dark jokes, that sort of shit. Anyways. Borderlands 4 was officially confirmed to be in the works in late March 2024. The project was mentioned as part of Take-Two Interactive's announcement that it acquired Gearbox from Embracer Group in a $416 million deal. Gearbox... oh, that's literally the same title as that. Some 4 months later, Lionsgate Borderlands movie hit the silver screens, debuting to an abysmal critical reception. Reflecting on this turn of events, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford has recently taken to Twitter, super flattered to learn the series, fandom liking the games even better. What some of the biggest and best cast and crew of film directors on the planet have done. The executive concluded this optimistic train of thought by promising that Gearbox is working extra hard for you on what's next, with the misspelled preposition for being a clear reference to the fourth entry in the long-running franchise. Well, some fans responded to Pitchford positively in equal measure. Others used his tweet as an opportunity to bemoan the decision to turn the Borderlands movie into what they perceive as a generic PG-13 action comedy, rather than something that caters to the series' fandom. Similar complaints have already been voiced in mass since the film premiere, and help to explain why the Borderlands movie debuted with a rare 0% aggregation score on Rotten Tomato. The part to add to this, why do you think the Fallout series did so well? It stuck to what the Fallout fans knew.
I don't know, maybe the ghoul whipped out a pistol and or whipped out his white rifle and just started blowing holes in people. That was a pretty good start.
Yeah, that was definitely a good start.
Carrying a head around the entire season, that's quite a good concept.
Yeah. Let's see, the vault
just slaughtering people left, right, and center.
Immediately. That was pretty cool. Someone losing their eye and then being pregnant at the same time. That was pretty fucking hardcore. As more reviews poured in over the last few days, its tomato meter managed to climb to a still meager 10%. Initial box office reports suggest that the film opened at under $10 million domestically against a $120 million budget, meaning they're $110 million down.
Yikes.
That's why we always say speak with your money. Although the movie's lackluster critical reception and box office bombing are unlikely to do the franchise any favours, that's not to say that fans are no longer excited about the next Borderlands game. According to Google Trends data, worldwide search queries for Borderlands 4 have more than tripled in August 2024 compared to the previous months. Well,
it was their plan all along to release a terrible movie.
Oh yeah, triple it. Definitely. Good idea. According to the stunt coordinator of Borderlands, the film was originally shot with a mature audience, mature rating in mind. Interesting. This week, the Borderlands movie is out in theatres and the reviews have not been kind. On top of everything else, the PG-13 film is up against Marvel's R-rated juggernaut Deadpool and Wolverine, which should sail to another win in its third weekend, but there's a much darker version of Borderlands that we may never see. Because the film was originally intended to be R-rated as well. Borderlands stunt coordinator Jimmy O'D told Screen Rant that the movie had a lot of gory violence, including decapitations and dismemberment, that didn't make it into the final film. Why?
Such a waste.
Why didn't it? We were shooting an R-rated movie when we did it, recalled OD. So we were blowing people's heads off and we were cutting feet off. We were doing all of that, but then, a lot happens. We shot that nearly 3 years ago, or we just finished it. So I guess a lot happens in post, and they see where it's going to go and what market they're aiming for. But literally, the idea and the brief was carnage. Go for it, and then we'll sort it out in post. What? This sounds like a great film. This would have been perfect for Borderlands.
Yeah.
Deadpool director Tim Miller helmed the reshoots, but according to OD, the film's original director Eli Roth favoured a harder edge. Eli loves horror, said OD. He loves horror. It was funny. He was on the second unit. He came over and he was like, just cut the ankles off. Yeah, get that knife, cut the ankles, and we will leave these stubs. It was kind of like there wasn't enough gore for him sometimes. Eli was all over that kind of stuff. He was great to work with. It was such a fun time with him. If the R-rated version of Borderlands exists in a finished or nearly finished form, it could potentially be released on Blu-ray or 4K down the line. But if the film bombs this weekend, there may not be a big demand to see more versions of it. Just give me that version. I don't want to watch the original. I don't care about it. Give me that version. I will watch it.
I think anybody would.
Yeah.
We all love a bit of blood and gore.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly. It's just I don't understand why they turned around and just went, yeah, let's just make it a kids effectively. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put that there and pull this over here a second. Because apparently I'm unlucky and I need to create a... There we go. I've now got a Game Rant account just for us to read articles.
He's finally done it. He has finally done it. He's finally caved.
They were annoying me, okay.
I lost count on how many articles you said, you know what, fuck you, Game Rant. I just closed the page.
About
because
5.
they kept forcing you. He's
good
finally
5.
went and done it.
Oh, yeah. Warner Bros. May start licensing its biggest gaming franchises to other companies, which I think is a great idea, to be honest. Warner Bros. CEO suggested that the company maybe plan to license out major properties like DC and Harry Potter for more game variety. Outsourcing game development may help Warner Bros. Adapt to rising costs and longer production cycles. Executives are confident in the future of Warner Bros. Video games and may expand licensing to other developers. Not to be funny, if they gave licensing to other developers, took a percentage of the cut, the rest went to that studio, or, well, after taxes, obviously. They took their cut, the rest went to that studio, they would both win.
Yep.
I don't see the problem there.
And imagine, like, they don't, it's not even like they have to release every game brought to them. They could just have people making games from what they have already.
Yeah.
And seeing if it's, like, quality content or not.
Exactly.
And that just ends up meaning that we have more chances for more good game releases.
I mean, we could get like another decent Harry Potter game like we did recently.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could get an actually good superhero movie from the DC universe.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, other than the Batman Arkham games. Maybe we can get more Batman Arkham games. I don't know. There's a lot there. Or a Looney Tunes game. A violent Looney Tunes game. I'd be happy with that.
Borderlands meets Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. Warner Bros. Discovery
Chop off Donald Duck's head.
Wait, Donald Duck?
I don't know. That's just the first thing that came to my head.
That's Disney, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, that's Disney. Warner Bros. Discoveries. Do you mean Daffy Duck?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's too many cartoon characters. And
There's too many cartoon ducks.
Many years.
God.
Is there any more than 2? Don't think so.
Okay.
Can we cut that from the feed?
No, that's staying. That's just funny. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav has stated in the company's latest quarterly earnings call that Warner Bros. May begin licensing out some of its biggest properties to allow for a wider variety of video game offerings. Warner Bros. Owns the rights to major franchises like DC, Harry Potter, and Looney Tunes, among others, and the possibility of more game development studios having access to these licenses may be promising for fans. As video games have become more expensive to make, and as game production cycles continue to take longer, many AAA studios have looked to outsourcing development to ensure consumers and investors stay interested in their offerings. Following comments from Zaslav, many are now speculating that Warner Bros. Will also be looking outward to expand its library of video games. Just do me a favor, don't do a Rockstar and get some random, never heard before studio to create your remaster of the Grand Theft Auto games, then end up it just turns out, oh yeah, they've made the mobile version of the games the PC
God,
port and just updated the graphics on that.
please, not mobile stuff. Please.
So yeah, please don't do that. During an investor call to discuss the Warner Bros. Discovery quote to 2024 earnings, Zaslav addressed a question regarding the company's video game sector. As reported by IGN, he stated that he and JB Perrette of Warner Bros. Games are keen on developing Warner Bros. Gaming business. They specifically want to focus on the free-to-play sector of the video game offerings while also taking advantage of its diverse IP portfolio. Zaslav made particular note of the success of Hogwarts Legacy and commented that Warner Bros. Would like to continue utilizing in-house studios for game development. However, he also stated that Warner Bros. Has started looking at allowing others to assist in maximizing the value of its IP lineup, perhaps suggesting that more developers will be granted access to making video games with licensed Warner Bros. Franchise. You've repeated yourself 3 times now, Game Rant. If I've made a fucking account just for you to repeat yourself, I'm not going to be impressed.
So we're gonna have to ban Rory from using Game Rant now as well.
Oh yeah, trust me. The amount of things I'm banned from doing on this podcast is insane. Like, how many
We're gonna
things
have
do we have
to
on the
stop
list?
writing lists of what you're banned from and start writing lists of what you're not banned from, because that's gonna be shorter.
What I'm allowed to do.
Yes, that's gonna be shorter, a shorter list than what you're not allowed to do.
I'll be honest, concerningly, you're not wrong.
Concerningly indeed.
While Warner Bros. Has not officially announced any upcoming AAA partnerships
I
with
think they
other
misspelled
game developers.
AAA.
So AAA.
No, I think they missed an A.
But let's not go down that route. They're not called Ubisoft.
Well, it is Game Rant, they might put it in there.
True. Partnerships with other game development studios. Comments made by Zaslav and Perrette in the Q2 earnings call seem to have indicate that the topic has been brought under consideration. Warner Bros. Has previously licensed out properties to developers for games like DC Superhero Girls and the upcoming Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. If Warner Bros. Does want to maximize its IP value while expanding its video game offering, it serves to reason that it would want to avoid rising costs and balance longer production cycles by licensing out its top franchises. Whether Warner Bros. Will actually go forward with the move remains to be seen, though Zaslav and Perrette have already voiced interest in the matter. Contrary to rumours of Warner Bros. Turning away from gaming, it would seem that the company's top executives are confident in the future of Warner Bros. Games. With some of the largest media franchises in the portfolio, Warner Bros. Certainly has plenty of content in its in-house gaming studios to work with, and for outside developers to potentially license. As correct as that may be, I need to specify one major part, especially when they considered and commented on the free-to-play sector. Do not try and make a live service game thinking, oh, this is all we need to do and we'll rake in the money. Look at the Avengers game. Just look at that. Look at Destiny 2. Look at the fuck ups. And then click
We've
on and
covered quite a
realize
few of them.
no. Yeah, we covered this all last week. So just no. Bad plan. Don't do it.
Because when you think about it, it's most of the recent ones that have been going like that. All
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that are like from a good few years ago are still going and still probably absolutely raking in cash.
Yeah, I mean, Warframe's still fucking kicking somehow.
But I feel like all the new ones that release, even the ones that blow up, they don't even last that long. Like a month or two later, and their player base is dead. There's no one on it anymore.
Fucking too true. Grand Theft Auto 6 release window gets encouraging updates. Well, let's. I'll
Sorry,
read this instead of
what
reading
game are we
that.
on about?
GTA 6.
What's that? Oh, that game from 7 years ago, right? Of course.
Yeah, that one. Do you remember the trailer that we covered like last year?
Oh yeah. Was that
Yeah.
No way, that was last year.
You know what? Out of curiosity, and I'm sure everyone will be equally baffled on this one, when was GTA 6? Because I remember us titling it. Wait,
You got a
what?
typing audio on?
I don't know.
What the fuck is with the audio then?
Good question.
It's got to be above Power World, no? You're in Power World there. Okay, no, because there's quadruple A game. What? Just search for the release date of the trailer, and that'll be roughly when
That
the
will be, yeah. It's annoying because obviously I used to do the title screens like this. So long ago. Yeah, I'd have thought that Grand Theft Auto would have been in there. This is why I first started to actually do things correctly. Oh, there it is. 8 months ago.
Wow.
Literally
So
the
it's
beginning of this year.
end of last year, start of this year. That's crazy.
It was recorded and released on the 10th of December, so last year.
God damn. That's absurd. That's that
Yeah.
long ago.
That's when the trailer released, because it actually released a day early, if I remember right, as well, because someone leaked it.
GG.
So I was waiting for it, and then it got released early. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is still on track for its planned release fall of 2025, so it's going to release next year. According to Take-Two's latest financial report, GTA 6 is easily one of the most highly anticipated new game releases of all time, assuming it meets its expected release window and isn't hit with a delay. GTA 6 will be launching a whopping 12 years after its predecessor hit store shelves. To date, only one Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer has been released, though it was a meaty one. You and me kind of argued a bit against that one.
Yeah.
The GTA 6 trailer confirmed the city's Vice City setting, the game's Vice City setting, a female protagonist, and many other interesting details about the new open world game is bringing to the table. Fans are anxiously awaiting GTA 6, and luckily, the latest reports suggest that it's still expected to be fall 2025. Also, it wasn't just a female protagonist, but well done on missing a bit out of that game rant. Once again, I don't know why I created a fucking account with you now. It's going to have, from the seams of things, a dual protagonist, which will be one male, one female. And it seems like it'll be playing as both. Different points. Bit like the Trevor, Michael, and Franklin situation. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Intriguing, though. Judas. Ghost story game. Are we going to be playing a game about betraying Jesus Christ? I'm intrigued. Take-Two's latest financial report claims that GTA 6 is going to release in fall 2025. This reaffirms... Actually, let's see here. GTA 6... Well, look at that, Will. What's missing on that?
Switch. They're not releasing on Switch.
Not releasing on PC either. Again. So that means we're once again going to be waiting like 2 fucking years.
That's even if it releases and their planned release date.
It's just so fucking dumb.
Are
Tales
you
of
telling me though that does that mean that like when was GTA 5 released?
On
Like
PC
10,
or in general?
just in general.
I believe that was released in 10. No, 12? 12.
So Does that just mean there's just been people working on GTA 6 for the last 12 years of their life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, hey.
So 2013, I think we got it. Yeah, 2015 PC.
Oof.
So that were about 2 years. Then, if you look at Red Dead Redemption 2 release date, that was 2018, 26th of October, right? Put PC on the end, November 5th, 2019. That was a year later.
That's rough, man.
It's annoying as fuck because there's no real reason behind it. It's fucking daft, man. Annoys the hell out of me.
They're trying to get double sales, you know? You buy it on console because you really want to play it, and then it finally releases on PC, and you're like, finally, you buy it again.
See, I don't know if you know this bit, but basically, when they created the GTA 5 PC edition, it had changes from the base game around the GTA 5 Easter egg, which apparently has never been solved. Here we are, though. The reason I bring that up is because they also released the GTA 5 Next Gen update about a year after the PC version, and that had all the PC changes in that. So, by any chance, is this going to release on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S, and then you're going to have to recreate it for the brand new console that's coming out with the
True,
updates?
actually. Yeah, that's true.
Because next year is the year that the consoles will be releasing their new
Yeah,
generation.
because they didn't announce it this year.
No, and typically they'll announce it next year, and it'll be released in like November, December time.
Yeah.
October, November time, sorry. So,
Fair
you know what
enough,
I mean?
anyway. Yeah.
It's weird. With Take Two still experiencing the GTA 6 release day, expecting the GTA 6 release day, sorry, to be sometime in fall 2025, fans may be wondering when the next trailer will drop. The first GTA 6 trailer was released in December 2023, and there's no sign of another one ever since. It's possible the next GTA 6 trailer will be tied to an upcoming event, like the rumored September PlayStation showcase or perhaps the Game Awards in December. But it's perhaps most likely that it will not be they will be released completely independent of any other events. The first GTA 6 trailer smashed records, and the same will likely hold true for the second trailer. Fans have had some theories about GTA 6 trailer 2 might drop, but nothing official has been announced by Rockstar. Whenever the game's next trailer is released, he is hoping it will provide answers to many of the questions that fans have had since the first trailer was released last year. I only have one question. Why can't you just fucking release at the same time, you dicks? My only question. Anyways, let's go to some hardware to finish off today, shall we? Tom's Hardware. Next storage launches blistering fast SSD, 7,400 megabytes a second speeds. That is just mental, and that's the size of them apparently. Like, that's mental.
I need a new SSD.
Mate, these are built for like Steam Deck and stuff. I would so buy a 2 terabyte one of them. Japan-based SSD maker Next Storage has unveiled an all-new PCIe Gen 4 M.2 SSD aimed at handheld gaming PCs dubbed as the G Series ME. The new drive is a 2230 class M.2 drive with no DRAM caching and a blisteringly quick 7400 megabytes read speed. So what's the write speed?
62.
Oh, that's actually still pretty fucking good. Next Storage's new handheld friendly SSD features sequential read speeds of up to 7400 megabytes a second and sequential write speeds of up to 6200 megabytes per second. The random read speed is rated at 750,000 IOPS, and the random write speed is rated at 850,000 IOPS. The drive comes in two models, 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte models. Surprisingly, there is no 500 gigabyte model. Not really. The 1 terabyte variant is rated up to 600 TBW of write endurance, and the 2 terabyte is rated for double that, 1200 TBW. Both models come with a 5-year warranty. Can't fault that. Both models use single-sided 3D TLC NAND flash, making it compatible with any M.2 slot that supports the M.2 2230 form factor. Cooling will also be improved since all the NAND flash is on the top of the PCB, where it can access by access cooler air. Main drawback of the G Series ME is the lack of DRAM caching, an inherent limitation of the ultra compact size. Basically, you make it smaller, you're not able to have any space to put the DRAM module on the PCB. However, Next Storage combats this deficit with its large capacity dynamic SLC cache, which turns unused space into an SLC cache to boost performance. That's a clever idea, to be fair. Basically, because they can't have DRAM, they've decided to create a cache from any unused space on the disk, which means the more that you fill it up, technically, the slower it gets. But it's a decent idea. Next Storage also highlights several advantages of going DRAM-less. The lack of DRAM cache purportedly improves power saving and operating temperatures, reducing the likelihood of thermal throttling. Despite its small size, the Next Storage drive is one of only a couple of M.2 2230 drives that can hit similar speeds to those of larger outgoing PCIe Gen 4 M.2 2280 class drives, and get close to the bandwidth limitation of the PCIe Gen 4. With a read speed of nearly 7.5 gigabytes per second, the G Series ME is the fastest M.2 2230 drive on the market. Its closest competitor is the Corsair MP600 Mini, which hits read speeds of 7 gigabytes flat. That is mental. 7.5 gigabytes per second read speed and a 6.2? Yeah, 6.2 gigabytes a second write. Jesus Christ, installations will be nice. I like stuff like that. It's always interesting to see brand new tech. We don't get it very often, especially in recent months. It's been quite boring. I don't know if you'd agree with that, Will.
You know, I don't know too much about the actual tech part.
I just mean in general, it's been quite boring in the past couple of months.
I'm sorry, would you like me to fuck something up in my system again? Like, give you something to do?
Oh, sure, yeah. Just unplug your CPU and launch it off across the
No,
room.
no, I'll just rip my SSD out, man. Then
Oh,
Windows
yeah.
just doesn't exist on my PC anymore.
I'll be honest, I just installed a PCIe Ethernet slot, 2.5 gigabyte per second, in my PC today. And when I went into my PC, I must have knocked one of the cables and it unplugged my 6 terabyte hard drive and my SSD. Only my M.2, which boots my computer, was still plugged in. So I was just kind of sat there like, where the fuck have my other hard drives gone? What the fuck?
Where is my PC?
Effectively, it was mental. But no, it's been a bit of an interesting episode, hasn't it? There's been bits and bats of interesting stuff. It's been happier than normal. Usually we hear about layoffs and everything else.
Ugh.
I don't think they wanted to depress us that much after how the world is.
Yeah, they've done it enough, man.
Yeah, haven't they just? But yeah. Is there anything you'd like to mention before we end it?
I can think of.
Nothing you can think of. How about your Outpost Infinity? How's that doing?
I've not touched it, bro. There's been a ton of updates again, and I just don't have it in me to touch it. It's just even the thought of it, let alone actually doing it, is just
Depressing.
very much.
I know what you mean there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So with that then, we'll end this episode here. Thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, join the Discord, all that good stuff. Everything's in the description. We make sure to put things exactly where they need to be. But yeah, I think that's everything. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye for now, guys.
Have a good one, guys. See you again.